I'm looking at the full scope of Week 1. Everything's in the books. All the teams have played a game. And the Philadelphia Eagles ranked 27th in passing yards in the first game of the regular season. And before I say what I'm about to say, I want to say this. I thought Jalen Hurts played well. I thought Jalen Hurts individually played well on Thursday against the Cowboys. I thought he was decisive. I thought he was smart with the football. I liked the way he ran. His legs were impactful. I was very pleased with the way Jalen Hurts played. Yet with that, the Eagles' passing game only had 152 yards passing. They had one pass play of 20-plus yards. 25 teams in the NFL on this weekend had more explosive pass plays. One pass play of 20-plus yards. Just one. That was the bomb to Jahan Dotson. It felt to me like a passing game that was kind of bogged down, a passing game that struggled to have real rhythm on explosive plays. It was like 4 or 5 yards here, a dump off to Goddard there, and just trying to move the chains and one good play. That's what I saw on Thursday night against the Dallas Cowboys. And, Hugh, I think there's probably an expectation the passing game will be better, but I don't share that because last year it wasn't a very good passing game. Like, they were a winning team. They were a very good team. They were a great team. But the passing game last year wasn't very good. They were 29th in passing yards last season. Mm-hmm. They were 27th in the NFL in week number 1. Jalen Hurts played well on Thursday night, and it still wasn't a dynamic passing game. I'm at the point now where I got a whole season last year. Then I got game 1 this year. I'm going to stop expecting the passing game to be much better. I think this is what it's going to be. I think they're going to throw for about 200 yards a game. I don't think it's going to be anything special. I think they're going to have enough to win. They're going to focus on running the football. By the way, they traded for another running back last night, which we'll get into, Tank Bigsby. I have stopped expecting this passing game to become dynamic all of a sudden. It really wasn't last year. It wasn't on Thursday night. I'm not expecting it. Hugh, are you expecting this passing game to get better?
Yeah, but I think when we talk about this passing game, it's a lot of what's that? What am I trying to say? We're playing semantics a little bit.
In terms of?
I think that, number one, because looking at this game, going into this game, I should say, against the Kansas City Chiefs, you take what the offense gives you. You take what the defense gives you in all of these games. So going into this, I think that they're going to try to shut the run down. They're going to try to stop the run. So you're going to have to pass. You're going to have to throw the football. Now, will it be one of those games where he throws for over 200 yards or something like that? Maybe. But I think Jalen's going to do what's needed to win the game. And I think that's the beauty of him. We saw a lot of games last night where, well, not just last night, the night before that, we saw games where quarterbacks had to throw themselves back into the game. The way this team is set up, we don't really have to see Jalen do that too much. And I think that's how it's meant to be.
Well, I'm not sure, but before you go on, that was with last year's defense. I mean, we have a Dory Jackson starting the corner. We might need to throw more.
Well, to be fair, we don't know what this defense looks like at full strength.
I totally agree. But the odds are they won't be as great as they were last year.
And odds are they probably won't have to be. You know, when you talk about the way that if you keep teams from getting into the end zone and you give your offense back the ball and they take up the time of possession and things of that nature, you got a chance of winning games. I think that for us, especially this weekend, because I even did it, when you look at some of the teams that played this weekend, the air attack was in full effect. You know, throwing the football for like 200-plus yards and things like that. I don't think that's how we're going to be built. Right,
but we should. We have great receivers.
I totally agree.
There's just no reason why they shouldn't pass the ball better. They don't. Agree. I mean, I don't have the reason.
I totally agree. I think they will. I think that this is a progress. I think this is a process where Jalen has to get comfortable with what he's seeing. And I think that there's going to be games where he's going to have to throw a lot more than he has in the past.
Well, the other thing is it would help Saquon Barkley. I mean, you saw what happened in the second half on Thursday night. The Cowboys brought 8 into the box. I mean, they made it very challenging on the Eagles to run the football. We saw that in the Super Bowl. Now, in the Super Bowl, I thought Jalen played great. This past game, I thought Jalen played well, and I thought his legs were super impactful. How many times can I watch a similar passing game before I stop thinking, oh, it's just going to magically get better? So we have a new coordinator. We'll see what Kevin Patullo does as he evolves here. A.J. Brown was banged up last year. He was banged up in the playoffs. He didn't look like he was running great on Thursday night against the Cowboys. It feels like we do this thing every week where it's the same thing. It looks kind of similar. And then we wake up the next day and you're like, you know what? Today's going to be different. It probably isn't. I don't expect this Eagles passing game to get wildly better. I think it's going to be a lot of what we saw on Thursday night. Shorter passes, maybe a bomb a game, and they're going to try to get by. 215-592-9494. We could say it's week one. It was week one for everyone. Everyone in the NFL had week one. So, the idea that, it's the Eagles week one, we got to take a grain of salt. Well, everyone was in week one. And I saw 25 teams have more explosive pass plays than the Eagles. I'm at the point where I think this is who they are as a passing game. They are efficient, smart, but not anything that wows you. And you have personnel that you say you should be able to throw the ball better.
I don't have a problem with not being wild every week. I don't have a problem with that. Now, to your point, they need to get the receivers involved, especially when you talk about the type of money that they paid them. But when you look at Jalen as a whole, as a quarterback, it's not like he throws the ball. He's probably, I guess the best way to describe Jalen in this situation, he's more efficient. Because I'm looking at his numbers from the start of this year, and I'm looking at his numbers from over the past years. He doesn't throw the ball a whole lot. It's not one of those things where he throws the ball a whole lot.
That's his choice. He had 16 scrambles or he had 16 rushes. I would say maybe, Hugh, 5 of them were tush-push kind of short runs. So that I would say conservatively, 10 of his runs, he decided, I am better off running than throwing.
Yeah, and I feel like if he's not putting the ball in harm's way, then I don't have a problem with that now.
Well, I agree with you, but that doesn't mean the passing is better.
But now, as the season progresses, and we get to play these better teams, and they take away certain things that you can do well that help keep you from having to put the ball in harm's way, you're going to have to be better in that sense. Then you're going to have to start throwing the ball a lot more. Like, say, for instance, because we were talking about this the other day. If you're down in a game and you're not in the comfortable space where you can run the plays that keep you in manageable downs and things of that nature, and you have to throw the ball, then that's where we're going to see where Jalen shines, or if he isn't going to shine. But I think he will. I think he will be able to, when that happens, I think he'll be able to step up to the plate and make it happen.
If we're talking about the passing game, 2022, Jalen Hurts averaged 246.7 yards per game. That was his best. That was the most. That was the year he finished second in MVP. It went to 226 the next year. It went to 193 last year. It's obviously one game. They're at 152 this past Thursday night. I think there's been an expectation that one day it's all going to click and it's going to go back to where it was in 22. I've stopped believing that. I think this is what this passing game is. 215-592-9494. Kyle, what do you think? Week one in the books, Eagles win. I thought Jalen played well, but the passing game as a whole, 152, only one pass play over 20 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great. You don't come out there with a great passing game and put up 24 points against Cowboys defense. And not target, target A.J. Brown one time, Devontae 3. But that's part of the reason why I think it's going to get better. I'm going to do the excuse bingo thing here.
Wow.
They do have a new offensive coordinator.
Yep, sure do.
Which means the guy calling plays is going to have to take a little bit of time to figure things out. And I'm sure he's going to come out next week with a concerted effort to feed A.J. Brown the ball, get Devontae Smith, the real playmakers, more targets. And I think just by nature of that, the passing game is going to look better than it was. The Eagles got down the field by dinking and dunking. And I think defense are going to have to adjust to that. Once they adjust to that, then that's where you can start picking them over the top a little bit. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that the passing game is going to just be dinking and dunking down the field the entire season. Also, I think Saquon is probably going to end up having better games. I mean, he should have better games than he had in that first week. Defense are going to have to adjust to that. So, I don't know. Just the fact that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are definitely going to have better games than they had in week one means that the passing game is going to look better. Whether it's bombs away down the field, I don't know about that. I'm not expecting Jalen Hurts to throw the ball for 400 yards every game. But just by getting the balls to the playmakers more and making a concerted effort to do that, I think the passing game will definitely start to look better.
Look, do I think they'll throw for more than 152 a game? Yeah. I mean, they threw for 152 on Thursday night. They will throw for more than that. But I think after week one, my feeling right now is it's going to look a lot more like last year than it is going to the years before that. Like last year is still going to be the template. Again, and we'll get into it. They traded for another running back last night. The expectation is, in my mind, they're going to run the heck out of the football, and they are going to throw at times, but not throw a lot. 215-592-9494. That is how you hop board. Do you expect the Eagles' pass game to get better? It was pretty good in week one. I thought Jalen, as an individual, played well, but the pass game, it was kind of bogged down.